Welcome to Word of the Day Wednesdays. My name is Nicole D. Miller, author of Stories for the Urban Soul, a compilation of short stories, novellas, and poetry depicting Black characters dealing with everyday life issues infused with spirituality, faith-based, hopeful, and hopefully encouraging. I published Urban Stories a year ago. So this latest blog post that I'm going to discuss is actually celebrating the publishing of my first fiction book, fourth book. So let's get started. Word of the Day Wednesdays is a live that I do weekly where I talk about my latest blog that is published at NicoleDMiller.com. And the last blog post is called When You're Strong. When You're Strong. And this blog post is near and dear to my heart because it's an opportunity to look back and see how far I've come in 1 year, how far we've come, because so many of you guys have been rocking with me, riding with me, and helping me stay motivated to see the manifestation of what's in my heart. So 1 year ago when I published this book, or I should say before I published this book, and I talk about this in my blog post, my mental health had taken a nosedive and was at a low. And I just talk about these intimate moments of crying out to God for my purpose, not knowing what I was here for, not knowing my calling, feeling very much alone, and nothing to really live for, which can sound dramatic. But what I realized was because so many of the women in my family had children to live for and they really identified with work, we're all workaholics in a sense, or hard workers, I should say. These things couldn't define me in that season. I wasn't doing the typical 9-to-5 thing. I still was trying to build my bookkeeping business and had no kids, no husband, no family, that sort of thing. So I just really was at a loss. And I talk about this in my blog post, that one particular moment where I was crying out, like, why am I here? What am I doing? I felt God leading me to the gym. So I felt like in that moment, the word was, you just need some endorphins. You need to release some endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. I think of Legally Blonde when she says that. Endorphins make people happy. They don't kill people. So anyways, I went to the gym. My mood did lighten. And so working out has definitely been a great avenue for me to stabilize my mental health and to find joy. But also writing has been, right? And so you guys know I've been blogging for almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years in October, I think. Of course, I'll celebrate. But it wasn't until Urban Stories came out that I got serious about my writing. I had tried when I did the first two books, the How to Overcome Heartbreak series. When I did those books, I did attempt to become a serious writer, and I created my email list and created a website and did some events. So there definitely was fruit from that time period. But I still had a 9-to-5, and every entrepreneur knows it's so easy to burn out. It's so easy to not see the manifestation of the promise or what's in your heart. And so I definitely gave up. However, when this time around, I just knew God would not open any other door. Like, no other door will open, and this just had to be the way. And I finally surrendered and was just all in. And it had literally been, and I talk about this in the blog, 6 years since I published a book, and 3 years since I had really written. Since I was dealing with grief recovery, I wasn't really writing. So Urban Stories was just kind of like me shooting out of the gate. And I feel like God did that with me because he needed to show me I had something to offer to the world, and I had something tangible in my hand that could help others. And that is what that's what helped to motivate me to move forward in purpose. I definitely am still walking by faith in so many ways, but like I said, there was fruit before, and if there was fruit before, there's like a whole bunch of fruit now. It's from the podcast interviews to the events to the TV interview. Definitely, I've seen the reward. There's more to come, but I've definitely seen that we're making headway. So 1 year strong was to honor that. I did my 1 year celebration a couple of weeks ago. Some of you guys were there. I did it on my Zoom only because my friends were adamant about making this happen. I had given up with our schedules. Didn't happen. And that is available on my YouTube page. So if you missed it, you can, stop in on the YouTube page. And we did a book discussion, discussing some of our favorite characters and stories and urban stories. So what I didn't know about urban stories also was that not only was it going to be the catalyst of my purpose, it was going to include these characters and stories that I would use in future writings. So right now I'm working on my first novel, which I hope to drop in the fall. And that novel does include Devin's Cafe, Devin and some of his people pop back up. So it's just been cool to dive into this world of Black stories infusing spirituality. And I didn't realize then, before I wrote Urban Stories, that was going to be such a major part of my message to this generation, was that you can have spirituality and it doesn't have to look stuffy. It can look fun. It can have swag. You can be free. And God is with us. So anyways, if you'd like to check out more, go to my website, NicoleDMiller.com. I also do a monthly newsletter. I also have a webinar recording. So you want to be an author, and that's for those of you who are interested in taking those next steps into your career of being a published author. That's available on my website for sale now. And then I have, I feel like I have another announcement that I just made, and I can't remember what the announcement was, but definitely do not miss any of my announcements. You will want to subscribe to my newsletter. You can do that on my website, NicoleDMiller.com, under the blog section. If you read any of those blogs and you scroll down to the bottom, you can sign up for the newsletter. Another way is to go on my Instagram at HTOHB, and you'll see the monthly newsletter posted there, and you can click on that and subscribe that way too. You can also DM me. I'm also on Facebook. This is being featured on my Facebook Live. So if you go to my Facebook business page, facebook.com/HTOHB, you can follow me or like that. And if you want to email me, NicoleDMiller1983@gmail.com. So overall, I just wanted to share this as an encouragement for those of you who are struggling with your purpose, you're struggling with your calling, you're wondering what the next steps are. Definitely cry out. Ask the Creator, the one who made you, knows you best. And you might be surprised, because I never ever saw myself being a full-time writer. I only saw the business part of myself. But that was just a peek of who I am entirely. So thank you guys for chiming in. I look forward to seeing you next week, and enjoy the rest of your day.